Hi guys, welcome back. And today I want to talk about the query function in Google Sheets, something that you don't get actually in Excel. So this is kind of like unique to Google Sheets and a really useful function. I'd say it's probably the most complicated function in the whole kind of repertoire really, because it's kind of like a function within itself. It has quite a lot of depth to it, and it can provide you with quite a lot of options there. So let's take a look at what it is. So first of all, the basic syntax is we're going to provide some data to it, as you always do. We're going to provide this query string, and then whether it's got headers or not, this can be inferred as well. So it's not really, it's mainly really just providing the data and writing this query string. If you want to learn more about this, you can take a look at this page here, which gives you quite a lot of in-depth detail about how you can write your own query strings. So this is kind of handy. Today though, I'm not going to actually go into detail with this. I'm going to look at how we can take a query and then reinterpret that in JavaScript or Google Apps Script. So that's going to be the challenge of today. So what you can see here is I've already prepared one, this query here. So we're going to take this data, the car brands, and we're basically just going to count it. So we're not going to use the null ones, we're going to group it by A and order it by count in descending order, and then we just change the name to count. So this is what we've got. So say we want to just add a few more. So there's another Tesla, let's add another Ford. I don't know, maybe we want to add a Kia as well, that gets put on at the end. This is done in alphabetical order. So yeah, let's jump in then and figure out how we can do this in Google Apps Script. So here we go. So this is the challenge then. First of all, we're going to get the data. Then we're going to use a reduce function, some sort of loop to count the number of occurrences of these brands. Then we're going to save this as an object. Once we've got that object, we need to then get it back to an array, because that's the way Google Sheets works. Some sort of ordered structure there. And then we will then flip that array around, and we will sort the array into descending order, which is basically the way it's being done here, right? And then finally, we're just going to bang it back on the sheet. So yeah, let's get cracking with this then. So let's create our function count car brands. We don't need any parameters for this. That's going to be enough. Okay, let's put in this then. So get the data. So we're gonna get the sheet equal to spreadsheet, and we're gonna get it off this object. Get active spreadsheet. It's a function, and get active sheet. Okay, next one, and we want to get the last row, right? Because we need to know how many are in this column. So let's go to sheet, and we use the get last row function. All this is built in, so it's really nice and easy. The next one, we'll get the car brand sheet dot get range. Right, so we start row 2, column 1, last, and we've only got one column, so just get the values of that. And then this is going to give us a 2D array, which is what we don't want. We just want one array. So we'll flatten that out. Another issue is we start on row 2, yeah, and we're counting to the last. So we just want to not one off there. Just show you that. So yeah, that's going to count to 20. We'll actually want to start from 2, so it should be 19. Okay, right. Good. Happy with that. let's add a breakpoint, just do some sanity check in here, make sure everything's working. I want to see what this brands looks like. Alright, brands is undefined. Okay, why is brands undefined? Okay, we've got typo. Yeah, this is what it's always good to do, just a quick check, make sure everything's on target. So we've got brands there, yep. Ends in our key that we added at the end. Alright. Let's keep going then. So right, so we want to count the number of occurrences, yeah? So let's bang that one in. Right, how are we going to do that? Let's take a look at this then, the JavaScript reduce function. This is the way I'm going to do it. You could use a for loop, you could use for each with an object. This is just like a compact version of that, so we're going to stick with this. I'm not going to go into detail with how to use a reduce function. Again, this is one of the more, this is a list of array functions or methods, whatever you want to call them. This is probably the most tricky to get your head around, and I'm not going to go into detail today on this. But yeah, if you want to explore it, you can read this page, and you'll learn more there. So let's move on then. We're going to use this. We're going to create a variable, and we're going to call this the counted brands now. So we're going to take brands, yeah, that's where our data is. We're going to reduce that. Now we've got we're getting already prompted here, so we're going to do this callback. So we need a minimum of 2, an accumulator, and it's going to be the brand. Yeah, we don't need anything else. We don't need an index or anything like that. Okay, so that's like the initial setup. Okie doke. Right, what do we need next? So we need to do some sort of counting here. So let me just initialize this before I forget. Okay, so this is going to be initialized as an object. This is what we want to do this as. And then we want to count, so I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to see whether this brand is already there, right? So how do we do that? So we just use brand in the accumulator. So that's simple as that, right? So we just check whether the brand is already in the object, whether it has that key. If it does, we will then add it. We'll then add 1, yeah, to count it. So account brand plus else we can add it as a new one. So let's go to account brand plus 1. Okay, and the last thing we need to do is after every iteration, we just want to return the accumulator. Okie doke. Give it a space. Right, let's see. Let's just see whether that worked then. Make sure we're okay. Make sure this is getting counted. And we'll go over to here. Alright, that didn't work then. Just find out why. Sorry, that's why. This should be equals. Let's just do it again. Right, so there we go. It's worked. Vauxhall 3, Tesla 6, BMW 1, etc. I'll just show you that in action though, just so it's a bit clearer how it did that. So we go to count car brands. So the first brand, yeah, so we've got an empty object here. The first brand is Vauxhall, yeah, so it doesn't exist, so it's gonna go into the first one. Sorry, second one, the else, because it's not there. And then it adds it and sets it to 1. So there we go, it's in. Next one, sorry, return that. Yeah, if it doesn't return it, it'll just get rid of it, you see. So there's the next one, Tesla, it doesn't have that, so it adds that. So now we've got 2 in there. BMW, just see whether I can get one that's already come up. So now on Mercedes now. Ferrari. I've got Ferrari again. Okay, so has it found it? Yeah, it does. So then it adds it, and then it returns it. So as you can see here, it's already counted Ferrari twice. So basically that's the way it works. It's a nice way of doing this, a nice way of counting things. Now the problem is, the object's no good. We can't use that in Google Sheets, and also it's in just a random order, the way it found it all, yeah. So what we need to do now is convert that to an array, which is what I'm going to do now. So const brands array. I mean, you can call these what you want. I'm just using these names. Counted brands. Okay. So this is how we do it, yeah. We're gonna use this function in JavaScript. This isn't part of Google Apps Script, this is just JavaScript. So the object entries method returns an array of a given object's own enumerable string key property key value pairs. So as you can see, we're basically looking for something like these examples here, where it takes foobar baz42, and then it just turns each one foobar baz42. And this we can't use in Google Sheets. This structure we can, so that's what we're looking for. So let's see whether that works. Okay, now we've got what we want. That we can paste this back as it is. This is fine. Trouble is, it's going to start with Vauxhall, or the brand, yeah, on the left side, and we want the count to be on the left side, like this one, yeah. So let's reverse that. So we're going to use map. Map's a really common one, so you should be familiar with that. So we're just going to call this X, each element, yeah, and we are going to reverse it, which is another function. So if you're not familiar with these, just check out Mozilla Dog. So we've got map, which is we're going to use, and then we're going to use this one because we're still in an array here. So we're going to change the order in place. So this just switches them back around. So that's where I'm getting that from. So let's just see whether that worked. Whether we've got them in the right order now, left to right. We're just running through this code again. It's taking its time. Sometimes it does this. Alright, we've got an unknown error. It's kind of annoying. Alright, we can't test that at the moment, not sure quite why. Not playing ball. Let's just refresh this page. Sometimes this does the trick. The problem with doing development in the browser, it sometimes does this. So yeah, so we reverse that, so now we've got the count on the left and then the brand on the right. Alright, let's move on. And then the next phase, yeah, I didn't move these down actually. Let me just grab this. And then we want to sort it now. Right, this sort is a little bit tricky because it's not just a straightforward sort. We've got a 2D array here, so we've got to do a bit of messing about. So let's look out how we can do this. So let's just call it sorted for now, and then we're going to use this sort function. Okay, let's just take a look at what this is. So this is again another array function or method. So yeah, the sort method sorts the elements of an array in place, returns a reference to the same array now sorted. So yeah, sorry, we didn't. It's doing this in place, so we don't need to even create that. So we'll just do it like that. So yeah, as you can see, it's gonna just rearrange them like this. So March, Jan, Feb, December, Feb, Jan, March. Yeah, it's gonna do it depending on these first letters in the order in the alphabet. If you want to learn more about this sort function, again, by all means, come to mozilla.org and take a look, and you can find out more. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail with this because it is, you know, a topic within itself, really. And this use case is quite complicated, and for that reason, I'm just going to take this function that I prepared earlier. Let's just cut this out, and we will just put it next to it here. And I've called it compare, and I'm going to bang it in there, and then I'm going to check that worked. So we should have Tesla at the top, right? Yeah, and we do. So there we go, Vauxhall next. Okay, so looking good. Right, how did it do that then? So let's take a look at this compare function that I wrote. So basically, the first bit, because we've got two parts, we've got 0 and 1, yeah. So we want to order them by the count first. So we're going to do this. This bit just checks the count, and then this bit just checks the alphabetical order, and then if they're the same, it just returns 0. That's the way that works. Like I said, I don't want to go into the sort function too much because that's a totally separate issue. But if you want to learn more, this is where you go and have a good read through, and it'll give you more info there. Okay, right. Final part, or penultimate part, I should say, is getting it back on the sheet. So how do we do that? Right, first of all, I want to just clear anything that might be there, yeah? So row 2, we're in column 6, just double check that, yeah, F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we'll just clear it to the end just to make sure, and then we've got 2 columns, yep, and then we will clear that, so just make sure it updates properly every time. And then the final phase is get range. Again, row 2, column 6. We're going to put in the brands array, and it's over 2 columns, and we'll set those values to our brands array again. Right, and now this stage we're going to get rid of console.log because we don't need any more breakpoints. And we're going to run this to see whether it works. So let's find out. Right, error. Okay, cannot convert 6 Tesla to int. Let me just see them. So So the error must be coming from 41. Get range 2. 6 brands array 2. Set values brands array. Okay, let me just check this again. Right, it's because we've not done that as a length, I think. I'll just run that again. Right, yeah, that's why. So the problem was we were trying to paste the whole array in when we just wanted a number, which was that. So yeah, okay, it's worked now. So we've got exactly the same as this column. We could add another key up. It won't work, but so we have to go back and run that again. And then we'll just see. Yep, so we've got that. Bingo. Okay, last thing to do then. I just wanted to refactor this where possible. If you really want to like use some cool JavaScript, then yeah, by all means. So what I want to do is I don't really like this bit, so I'm gonna add that in there. And something else I like to do is just like simplify things. So if we just do that, I think that looks a bit cooler, a bit tighter JavaScript. Okay, still working, no issues. One last thing to do then is something that was niggling me is this. I think I can find a better way of doing this, so if I can, I will do. So what I'm going to do is turn this into a ternary instead, because we've got this. It's quite straightforward, if else, and turn it into a one-liner. Right, first of all, I'm going to get rid of brand X and A just to make this. I can call that B for brand, right? So brand for A for B. Okay. I want to get rid of this because I want to turn this into a one-liner. Just get rid of that there. Don't need that anymore. Whoops, gone too far with that. Right, so I want to get rid of this. Get rid of this. See, I would just keep getting rid of it. Get rid of this. So yeah, I'll just keep going with this. Right, okay. That still isn't gonna be enough. What we need to do is fill this off. Okay, it's getting a little unreadable, but you should still be able to get this. Did it work? Yeah, it did. Just to prove that again, I'm going to clear it. That did work. And there you go, it worked. So bingo. So yeah, just going over that ternary again. What we did was is B and A. Yes, it is. Add 1. No, it's not. It should equal 1. And then because it's a one-liner, it does an auto return. But you need to just put that in these brackets just to make it work. And then it looks really like super cool. And that's all it is. It's not a huge amount of code in the end. Just that. I mean, what's that? Less than 30 lines of code, and you really get some powerful functionality there. Okay, guys. Well, that's the end of this tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you got any ideas for other tutorials, and I'll have a look and see if I can do them for you. So take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one.